Hello, good afternoon. This is David Soto talking to you today. I want to talk to you about a new scalping strategy that I call the ladder effect. Okay, and this may sound a little crazy, and might look a little confusing at first. But what I've been teaching you in the past is whenever you get a new signal to buy or sell using my Excalibur trend indicator, then you need to look at the previous trend. All right, and once that trend breaks, then you can go ahead and buy or sell. So in this example right now, I have an up arrow, right, and the price came up some and back down again. All right, on pound USD, I just picked this one as an it looked like a good example. I could use any currency pair, and you can use pretty much any time frame, but I would stick to like a 1 hour or 4 hour chart for this strategy. 1 hour chart is perfectly fine. Now, first of all, you need to draw your trend line. Okay, so in this example, I'm just going to draw a downtrend right here. Okay, and this is good enough. All right, we have these points here to connect, these points here to connect, and these points. So a true trend line, you need 1, 2, 3 points to connect to have a perfect trend line. Okay, so right here we have a very good trend line. The only thing is we need to wait until this price shoots up at least 100 points or so up outside of this trend line before we actually buy. Okay, now in previous videos I showed you not only how to find your trend line, how to draw a trend line, but also how to find your support and resistance levels. So in order to use a scalping strategy, we need to first find our support and resistance levels after we identified our trend line. Okay, and how we do this is just simply look at points on the chart. And I like to start off by looking at the lowest and highest point. And right here, this is the lowest, and this was the previous high. Okay, there is a point up here, but I'm not going to count that right now. I just want to look at the previous high and the current low. Or if I'm looking to sell, I want to look at the previous high and the current low, or current high. Previous high or previous low and current high. Either way, I don't want to confuse myself, but either way, it doesn't matter. Just look at your previous signal and look at your current signal. Okay, and then mark the high and low point. Alright, and then we're going to mark points in between, and we can see that very easily. We have a point here I can mark. We have a point here I can mark, and I'm just looking around here. That's not even a really good point. Let's see here. There's a point here. Point here. I might take this one and drag it up a little bit. I'm trying to see if there's a point in between. If I zoom in a bit, okay. If I zoom in a bit, we see a point right here in the middle. I don't really like that one. We see a point right here. We see a point right here. We see a point right here. This is a support line. We see a point right here. I don't want this to look too much confusing, but I don't want to draw too many lines. But you kind of get the idea. There's a point right here also we probably could use. Okay, so that's kind of enough for this example. And this one here I probably could delete. That's not a really good example. Now, if we notice in between each space, there's roughly this almost the same distance in between every space, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to be setting pendant orders in between each one of these. Alright, we're going to set buy stop pendant orders. And I like to call this strategy the ladder effect, because if you look at this downtrend, it looks like a ladder that you're climbing down. And each of these support and resistance levels is a rung on a ladder. So you're climbing, it looks like you're climbing up a ladder or climbing down a ladder. Either way, vice versa. Okay, when we get a new uptrend, you're gonna be climbing this ladder all the way back up. And it may not go all the way as high as you think it will, or it might continue lower. I don't know. But at this point right now that we have a buy signal, I'm only looking to place buy trades. Now, what point will this price break this trend line? Okay, I want to look at the last point that was touched on this trend line, which is right in here. So I want to go to the next rung on the ladder above that, which is up here, and place my pendant order. I'm going to place a buy stop pendant order, and I'm going to use these lines, these support and resistance lines, these red lines, as kind of a guide of where I'm going to place my pendant orders. Okay, so simply I'm going to place a pendant order right here. It's going to be a buy stop, and I'm going to place this at 1.26. Let's see, 100. I'm just going to do 100. Make this pretty simple, right? And then for take profit, I'm going to put 1.26. I probably could do 200. It might be a bit much, but I'm going to run with that. Okay, this is just for demonstration. But you see right here, the take profit, the pendant order, the buy stop, and the take profit are inside of these two rungs on the ladder. And I could tighten this up a little bit, make it smaller, only like 50 points, just so I know that this will touch. And I might want to bring this down a little bit closer to this line. So get like that, right? And that's only, how many pips is this right here? 48 pips, so approximately 50 pips, right? No big deal. 53. So that's one pendant order. Now I'm going to do another pendant order, right? And you don't have to follow, you don't have to use exactly 50 pips or whatever, but as long as you get a pendant order in the middle, I would go for about 50 pips or so. You can go for 70, 80 pips, that's okay, but try not to go for too much. Just get small take profits, and you'll be fine. This next one, I'm going to put, make sure I hit select buy stop. It's going to be 1.26. Let's see, 300. Try to make this easy, right? 1.26. I was going to say 350. I'm going to go with 350 or 50 point take profit every time, just to make this a little easier to follow. Okay, you see that? And then I'm going to put another one up here. Okay, I was looking to adjust this right here, but I think I'll leave that alone. And then I'm going to hit new order. I'm going to do a buy stop again. And I'm going to put this one at 1.26 500, and this at 1.26 550. Okay, see how that works? And then I'm going to do another one at 1.26. I want to do 700, but I'm thinking I could do a little bit higher than that. It's real close to this line. So if I could do 750. Okay, and then here I'm gonna put 1.26 800. Okay, and see how I put that pennant order right in there, only 50 pips. And then I'm gonna do again another buy stop at 1.26 900 and put the take profit at 1.26 950. Okay, and then put another one. I probably could raise that up a little bit. Oops. But anyhow, you get the point, right? And I'll do another buy stop at 1.27 100 and take profit at 1.27 150. Okay, I could do one more, but for now that's plenty. Okay, I'm not going to do no more, but you get the idea. Okay, when you get a signal to buy or sell on a 1 hour or 4 hour chart, then draw your previous trend line. Okay, which in this case is a downtrend, and then we're going to wait for this to break the trend line, and then start placing pennant orders above. Okay, and we judge where to place the pennant orders by looking at all of our previous support and resistance levels, and you're just simply looking on the chart here, finding points out. Okay, went up to this point, it came down to this point, came down to this point, came down to this point, came down to this point. And you could get a little more technical. You could say there's points in between, but you kind of want to leave enough of a gap. And each rung of the ladder should be approximately about the same. Okay, so this way you can see where exactly you want to place all your pennant orders. Okay, so that's very, very simple. And at least this way, with this strategy, you can just kind of set and forget and check on it every so often, but come back to it, you know, periodically and just double check. If you want to add a stop loss, for me personally, I don't need to add a stop loss, but if you want to add a stop loss, you could put the stop loss on the next rung below. Okay, where I would say like where the pennant order is here, or the next, you know, not the next line down. So if you had a buy stop here, for example, you put the stop loss here. Buy stop here, stop loss here. Buy stop here, stop loss there. You could do like that if you want. Okay, but the science behind Forex and the movement, everything goes in patterns and cycles, and everything works in this like ladder effect. You have all these support and resistance levels, and everything goes like step by step by step by step, up and down every day. So if we zoom out a little bit, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I drew this support line, and it pretty much matches up here, 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 here. These are all previous in the past. You know, I'm just looking at the ones now, but it all matches up with the past as well. And we know at some point the price is going to go back up to these levels that they were previously, and at some point they're going to go back down again. Right now, it definitely looks like this is going to be going up, so I'm not worried about drawing any lines down here, although I certainly could. And I probably could put more pending orders up higher above all this, but for now that's plenty. And I could check on this every few hours, once a day, twice a day. I don't have to be glued to my computer. And I can even check this on my phone just to kind of see what's going on. Okay? So anyhow, I call this the ladder effect. This is my new scalping strategy. Let me know if this works for you, if you think I'm crazy, or you have a better idea. I don't know. But this is pretty solid strategy. And it's a totally set and forget strategy. Well, not totally, but you still need to check it every so often. But at least you really don't have to worry, because at some point all these take profits are going to hit. Okay? And you start taking, instead of taking one big trade, take a series of small trades. Okay? This way you could have a trade coming up and then reverse back down and you fall into a loss. But if you have a trade going up and it hits this, for example, hits this resistance and comes back down, well, you've already hit your take profit and got your profit out of this. Okay? And then if it comes back down, then you could just put you could repeat what you already did. Do it again. Okay? Same thing here. The price came down and then went back up again. Price came down, went back up again. So we know that at some point the price is going to come down, it's going to go back up. Price come down, it's go back up. Right now, you're right in the middle of this rung on the ladder. And if I had put a take profit in here, a small 50 pip take profit in the middle here, I would be just about hitting right now, or I would have already hit at some point, because this came up and down several times already. So you get my idea, right? So put a lot of these small trades, pending orders in here. 50 pips is all you need for each of these. Okay? And just a series. And you can do this on multiple charts. Open up all these charts and you could do that. Repeat this. And you have all these trades, all these pending orders lined up for your whole week. You could do this at the beginning of the week. And then you have your whole week set. And you don't have to do nothing else except monitor every so often. Once or twice a day. Alright, so, and you have to do this when the market's open, but, this won't take but maybe 30 minutes of your time to map out all your trades and set up for the week. So, let me know if you like this strategy. There's a link below below the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Contact me on Facebook, I prefer. Also, there's a link below for my private Facebook group, and you can post any questions or comments there. If you have not joined, please send a request to join my Facebook group, and then send me a message and let me know that you requested to join so I can add you. And also, if you do not have my Excalibur trend indicator, please contact me to get a copy of that as well. Okay? So with that said, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.